What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Daddy Diz.
Right when we start, this bitch wakes up.
Right at the jump with Renesmee and EstelaTheBella. What's good, everybody? SideFriend Chronicles in the building. We're here to talk about. We're here to talk about whatever comes to mind. The weekend, maybe.
Yeah.
This is like
an eventful kind of weekend.
I don't know if we've ever told any of you, but this is low key like the weekend recap pod as well. Yeah. It's the weekend recap pod. It's the pod where we just say whatever's on our mind, and it's the pod that becomes the taboo zone just naturally because we talk about everything taboo. As you can see, I got the baby Yoda on tonight, and if you can't see it, best believe it, I got the baby Yoda popping off on the shirt right now. What's good, everybody? What's happening?
What's up, everybody?
Hey, if you are brand new here, make sure you press that like button and be sure to subscribe because, you know, the pod just be dropping that fire, man. So that's
what also let us know where in the world you are. Where are you?
Please do. Please do.
We want to know where you guys are joining us from.
Yo, so today is going to be a nice, short, quick, sweet pod, almost kind of like a pop-up pod because, you know, we got some things we got to tend to later, you know, business meeting of the minds, you know, we got to, you know, come up with some new because, you know, we're steadily and always creating as usual per the pod. You know, we got to make it happen, you know, dropping bombs on that. You know, we're going to drop some people. We're going to talk about some things that's been going on out and about. But first, before we get into that, things like Dad Bods and Joe Budden and Selena Powell, those people, you know, all the interesting stuff going on in the world.
Selena Powell, who's that?
Oh, you don't know who Selena Powell is? She's like the industry girl who kind of gets around with all the guys and kind of sleeps with all the guys, all the celebrity guys, Trey Songz. That was like an infamous one. She's been in things with Soulja Boy and just a lot of different guys. It's just a lot of drama. Remember when she was on that pod where she was talking about OBJ liking to poop on girls or something along those lines?
That was her?
That was her and her friends,
Oh, God.
That was her and her friends, you know. Very clickable, you know. People like to click on it when they see her. But, you know, it is what it is.
What happened to striving for better in life?
We should always strive better for life, for sure.
We should always strive better. Anyways.
So what's going down with you?
Just recovering from vacation.
Palm Springs?
I went to Palm Springs this weekend, and that was actually my first time in Palm Springs. I'm not sure how many people are watching us currently that have ever been there, but it was windy as fuck.
Okay.
And, like, I know that, like, when you drive out there towards that area, there's like the wind turbines, you know, like the wind farms, basically.
Yeah.
But I feel like whenever I drive out that way, those things are never really moving, you know?
Yeah.
And but now I know why that shit was built out there, because it is windy as fuck over there. And it was my friend Jessica's birthday, 35th birthday celebration weekend. Holler at my girl.
Shout out, Jessica. Happy birthday.
A hurricane, Jessica, what it was with them fucking winds.
You said a hurricane. That's the desert.
That was our hashtag.
When there's no mountains like blocking off the air.
No, I mean there's a huge ass mountain right there, but it don't block the air. I think it makes the air like really like whip through there. Like funnels it, you know what I mean?
It's like that in Vegas too. In Vegas, it gets super windy.
Yeah, so it was crazy windy, but it was nice and hot. We had a pretty dope little Airbnb, like a 4-bedroom house with a
Hey, I
pool
went to
and a hot
party one
tub.
time.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. It was with a lovely bunch of ladies, like drama-free bullshit, like it was
Sounds
a
like a
good
great time.
crew.
It's never
We
fun
had a
going
lot
to
of
places and
alcohol.
everybody just wants to have drama and there's just a battle of the minds. Everybody
Well,
wants to do different things and whatnot, and it becomes
yeah.
like some weird argument, and then everybody's like beefing on the trip. It's always weird that way.
Well,
So
and then the people that you're with sometimes like they just talk about drama like they're still in like middle school, and I didn't get that from this group, so I was really happy about that. That was really cool. Um,
shout out to the
but
posse, man.
downtown Palm Springs is super poppin'. There's a lot of fucking people there, and just to go there and shop and eat and like drink.
Yeah.
Like it's wild to me that people will drive that far for that, but it's a little vibe. It's pretty, but what I didn't like was Sunday though, while we were walking around, just downtown smelled like vomit hardcore. And then I actually found the vomit and almost stepped in it after smelling it for a while, which is just like disgusting. It's like flashbacks to my car because my car smelled like vomit big time since from a little incident in March. But yeah, it was a really good time. I want to go check it out again.
I want to go to Palm
Maybe
Springs.
like
I've never
day
been to
trip
Palm
it.
Springs.
It's pretty cool. I think you'd enjoy it.
It's like a desert oasis, huh? Like
We
a
can meet
getaway.
there.
We can meet.
Yeah.
I'll be down, man, because I've been in need of some. Ooh, I've been in need of some kind of a vacation too. You know,
Well, it was your birthday weekend. How'd
it
that
was my
go?
birthday weekend. Hey,
Hey,
everybody, say
happy
happy
birthday
birthday to
to
me.
me.
Yeah, it was my birthday weekend. Hmm.
David, my cat's name is Renesmee Michaela.
Yeah,
What'd
yeah, it
you
was
do
my
for your
birthday
birthday?
weekend, and I kept it pretty smooth. I did one thing that I haven't done in a long time, which is have a couple drinks or whatnot, and
How'd that
I
go for
well, it went good on my birthday. I had a good time. Went to a nice restaurant, Echo and Rig. Had a cool little dinner. I should have did the steak, but I chose to go the seafood route, and so
Did you
it
get
was all
halibut?
right. What?
What kind of seafood did you get?
I went a very boring route, honestly. I'm surprised, but I just wasn't in like a beef kind of mood at the time, and
Yeah.
I got prawns and artichokes.
Prawns and artichoke?
Prawns, artichokes, or it might have been big shrimps. I don't know, but
Isn't that
yeah,
what
that
prawns are?
do I know what prawns
No,
are?
aren't prawns like giant shrimps?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Basically, yeah. I think you're right. That is what prawns indeed are. So yeah, that's what I had, and then I had an old fashioned cocktail. That's the way I
Eee.
like to do it. Old fashioned,
Is that
and
bourbon or whiskey?
it is whiskey. It's bacon washed whiskey. Well, the one they use.
The one that you had?
The one that I had, yeah, it's super fire, and it was great. And had a couple of them. Went out on the city a little bit. Went to the strip, and just kind of just cruised around a little bit. Had a cool little birthday with E, and it was a good time. And then Saturday,
Nice.
kept it kind of chill on Saturday and Sunday though. Yesterday, that
Tell us
was
about last night.
yeah. So last night, it got a little crazy last night. I had a buddy come in town. Shout out to the boy Ian. It's my bro right there. He came into town, and we decided to go check out a few spots, have a couple cold ones or whatever. And one thing led to the other. We, I won't give away the whole night because I don't know if he wants me to let everybody know of the whereabouts or what have you. But it definitely involved libraries, books, and reading. Hey, everybody. But we ended up at a few
Mhm.
bars, and like, hey, let's kind of like bar hop a little bit. Get a beer here, a beer there, and a shot here, a shot there. And being that I haven't really drank in like a month, It was a rough morning for me. I didn't get
Those shots
in
will
until
get
like
you.
4 in the morning, and I mean, I didn't have any reason to wake up early. Well, I did actually, but other than that very important reason, that was the only thing I had to wake up early for. And yeah, man, it was a rough morning. I had a California burrito from Roberto's, and it ended up all in the sink. Don't ask me why I didn't
Ugh.
make it to the toilet. I couldn't
Ooh.
get there.
Ugh.
It was either my hand all over the floor or the sink. It was like that. So yeah, it was a rough one, man. It was a
Ugh.
rough one, but it's all good. We live to fight another day. I hydrated with electrolytes. I had the Pedialyte drinks on deck. Uber Eats it. It came
Yeah.
through 3
That's the way. That's the way
Pedialytes
to
and
go.
boom. Yeah.
Now he's the recovering man.
Now I'm the recovering man with the Baby Yoda shirt and the wild hairdo tonight. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
I want to tell Jay Wynn, if you could hit me up on Instagram via DM, I will send you your own, little heels preview and all that. Because right now I'm good on the foot cam, and yes,
Thank
but I
you,
don't want you to
Agnetha, for
miss
the
out because you did purchase that gift, and I'm grateful. So hit me up on Instagram, and I got you, Jay Wynn.
thank you, Agnetha, for the compliment on the hairdo. Yeah.
My choice of drink is always a margarita. I'm partial to tequila. Second place would be vodka. I don't fuck with whiskey and bourbon and scotch and all that stuff. That shit is disgusting to me. Um, I have had the Blue Label Johnny Walker, which I believe is scotch and whiskey mix, and it's kind of smoky. That was the only time I've ever done a whiskey shot and could tolerate it. Um, but outside of that, like, no, thank you. And you know what? I was actually at Costco and I saw how much that bottle costs. And I was like, holy fuck, I would never pay for that. But I mean, when I drank it, obviously it was free. There's something to be
Obviously, it
said
was free.
about
Women
women being
women
able
get
to go
everything for
out and
free.
not spend any money. Um,
Women are
but
always just riding the gravy train,
not
baby.
always true. It's just, alcohol and liquor is expensive. And if they want to buy it and it doesn't come with a side of dick, like, why not?
Whoa.
Like,
Wait, so you're all about it if it comes with a side of D?
I'm all about it if it doesn't come with a side of dick.
Gotcha.
Because you know how,
Okay.
like, dudes expect, like, hey, I bought you a drink, like, you owe me time. Like, that's not actually how that works, bro. I owe you nothing. You
Right.
offered, that's your deal. Like,
That's his
nobody
choice,
owes
right?
you anything.
That's true though. I mean, if it's his choice, he wants to buy a chick a drink, you shouldn't
Right.
expect her to hang out with him for the rest of the night just
Right.
because she said okay. But
Right.
a lot of chicks though, they definitely take advantage of that. And then they get the drink and they dip. They don't got to do that part. Now that part is kind of like, come on. Because the
Well,
guy
I
probably
mean,
wants to pop off at her,
that's
probably
not
wants to
true.
see what's
Sometimes
going
they
on with
just
her.
wanna fuck, and I'm sorry, I don't feel bad for you if you buy her a drink and you just wanted to fuck her and she doesn't
It's
give you
not
the time
always
of
about
day.
just wanting to
It's
like
not though?
no, I mean, it could be like that he wants
In
to get
those
to know
kinds
her,
of settings, come on.
wants a little bit of time. But I mean, you can also work around that kind of situation too. Like if the chick allows you to buy her the drink and she's like, okay, I'm gonna go back with my girls. You don't got to get all flustered and irritated. All you got to do is be like, all right, cool, man. I'll see you. I'll see you around. In the club, basically, because you're gonna see her again in the club or wherever the setting is. And then you just swing back around like 10, 15 minutes later. Oh, these your friends? What's up? I'm gonna buy all of you a drink now. And now you're in the good graces of the whole squad. And now the whole squad is gonna be
Mhm.
like, man, what's up with this guy? Like, I don't know, I just met him 10 minutes ago. Next thing you know,
We're
you're
gonna
chopping it up
encourage
into
her to
getting her
talk to
number.
him. Yeah.
You say, oh, yeah, you gotta wait
What
for the
you
liquid
wanna do
courage to
is you
kick in.
gotta get the ladies on your side. You gotta get her friends on your side. If you're
Major
trying to
key.
swoop in,
Major
you
key.
gotta get her friends to be on board with it. If you're smart, that's what you'll do. Now, I'm not saying to use this to, you know, go
Yes, you
and
are.
and fuck all the girls, you know
Yes,
what I
it is.
mean?
This what
But,
this
like
podcast is. We give great advice on relationship advice. We give literal instructions on how to add the D to the vag. I mean, that's what
that's
this
not what this podcast is
I
about.
know. She gets so annoyed. She's so like, "Oh, this podcast ain't about that, ain't about this." Girl, we're just shooting the shit, having a good time.
I know, but I don't
What is this
also
podcast
wanna
about
be
then? Tell me what this podcast is about.
this podcast
T
is about all the topics, whether it be relationships, sex,
Mhm.
like we say, all things taboo, but with a male and female perspective, which is balance. It's two different experiences of the world coming together and
Right.
like sharing that
Absolutely.
and relating to people, but also teaching people and opening people to other perspectives. Like that's really what it's about.
So, in a lot of ways, we add value to the world.
I would like to hope so. Like that's the goal, right?
I think that
So,
all people can do is just be their self, and if people like to, like to be around those kind of people, and you can learn something from anybody in life, right? Let's say you're with a group of friends, like you might learn a new lingo or a new phrase, and you start to run with it. And sometimes the lessons that you learn in life are good, sometimes they're not. And I think a lot of times, with a like a podcast, for instance, like ours, right? We talk
mhm.
about pretty much everything. So there's something for anybody to really, take away from whatever the
Yeah.
conversation may be.
I honestly wish more women watched. But
I think
I'm
in due
actually
time.
glad a lot of men do because I would like for men to hear the female perspective and like especially from someone like me who's like I'm not afraid to tell you, what it is and what's really going on, at least from
Mhm.
my perspective. And I think that oftentimes when women in their, women in your life, I we're conditioned, like I said, to massage egos and kind of tiptoe around that and like appease the man. And like, I don't know any of you guys, so I don't really care to do that for you. You know what I mean?
I feel you. That
Do
makes a lot
you?
of sense. I'm turning off everybody from the Wi-Fi right now because it's showing me
Oh,
that there's weak
you
Wi-Fi
have a weak
strength.
Wi-Fi connection. So
Yeah.
Jay Wynn, the deal with the foot cam is right now I just don't feel um like that's something I want to do at this moment. Like I did it for as long as I did it to, you know, kind of like appease the audience that I initially offended, in the very beginning somehow because some crazy weirdo fucking thought that I was talking shit about the foot fetish in general when I wasn't. He took something completely out of context. I don't know if you guys ever go back and watch videos. I feel like I explain this every week, and it's just not something that I feel like the way that I am approached and talked to by the audience, not the majority of the audience, but still enough of the audience. I get the DMs, I get all these messages, I get comments on our videos. I don't know if you've ever scrolled through those. There's people in your community, in the foot fetish community, who are incredibly disrespectful and incredibly bold. And I don't have the patience, and honestly, I don't need to. I don't owe anybody anything. It's not something I'm willing to tolerate. And if I have to cut the foot cam for a while to like not lose my sanity, that's just what it's going to be. I'm sorry that you came into it at that point. You can refer back to all the other videos, check them out. I did wear heels in one of them.
There is
Um,
like
Not
40
the heels that
episodes.
you sent to me, but like I said, I'm willing to send you a picture of my feet in them or a little video or whatever because you did purchase the gift. Now, do I feel like I owe anybody anything? No, but I'm willing to do that for you because I'm not a completely shitty person. So that's just how that goes. Y'all can thank William in the UK for that too. That guy's crazy.
Is he in the
Um,
UK? Let's
Yeah, he's in the UK.
yo,
And
let's talk. Go ahead.
Tony, it's really not necessarily about the views, man. Like, I'm okay with losing views if I don't have to compromise my integrity. You know what I mean? At some point, if shit it doesn't line up with my values, and I reevaluate a lot of things in my life, and I do it often. And if it doesn't, honor my values, and I don't feel like it's getting me in a direction where I'm wanting to go, in all the ways, mentally, physically, emotionally, and productivity wise and all this shit, like I'm going to cancel some shit. And as of right now, that stuff isn't serving me in really important ways. And that's just how that goes. So I'm sorry to those of you who are just here to watch my feet. Like I said, there's plenty of videos with my feet that you can go and watch. And that's just that. I do have an Instagram for my feet that you guys can also check out. And yeah, that's where I'm at. I
Okay.
appreciate the respect and the support, and if you feel like you can no longer watch the podcast and enjoy the conversation, that's fine. It means you were never here for the conversation in the first place, and that's what matters the most to me. So there's that.
Word. Exactly. I don't want to like talk about that like every single time we don't have the foot
I know,
cam
we
though. So
literally do every single time.
because it just is what it is, y'all. I want to
It's a
talk
broken
about
record.
yeah. I want to talk about the whole Joe Budden podcast fiasco. What do you think about all that, Stella? Do you think it's pretty messed
From
up that he
what
fired?
yeah, I do. I do think it's messed up. I think that, obviously it has his name on it and he's like the big ticket item there. But Rory and Mal really brought a lot to that podcast and they helped build it to what it is. And then for him to fire them because they were trying to make sure that they're not getting like
Jerked.
shat on, like that's kind of whack. Like that's a whack character move.
Right. Yeah. So it says that they were profit percentage co-owners of the podcast or profit percentage creators of the podcast, and they were supposed to get a certain percentage of all of the profits of the podcast, and they were getting the same amount of pay no matter what came in, and they wanted to see the accounting for the podcast, and Joe and his accounting team refused to show them the accounting, and that's where the whole beef really started. I just feel like, man, why is it always got to be money that messes up the good things, you know?
Well, I mean, I saw somebody criticizing Mal saying, "Oh, I thought you said you'd do this for free and oh, it's not about the money." And I'm sure that's what it was in the beginning, because when you first start podcasting, you don't make money. Like we don't make money, But when it gets to that level where he's got sponsors and donors and shit like that and he is making money, and like, how fucking greedy and disrespectful are you? Like, you have zero integrity, like, as a person, if you're gonna fucking do that to the people that helped build you to where it is in the first place, to where you're making money.
Stella, speaking of sponsors, a word from our sponsor, and then we'll continue that conversation.
Cool.
If you're looking for unique and eye-catching foot jewelry, you'll fall in love with Yoga Bling Boutique. Our unique line of toe rings and anklets are gorgeous conversation pieces that make heads turn. Visit yogablingboutique.com for exotic toe rings, anklets, and socks that caress your lovely feet like a glove. We are on Facebook as Yoga Bling Boutique FB. Also look for us on Instagram as Yoga Bling Boutique. Your feet deserve jewelry from Yoga Bling Boutique. For more information, go to yogablingboutique.com.
I love that commercial.
I would wear some of their jewelry on our podcast, just like a little
totally
modeling that.
Yeah. Well, let's get back on the Joe Budden podcast topic, because that's like there's a lot of things like to take from that whole situation, like money getting involved and kind of messing up good things that people got going. But continue what you were talking about because you were on a roll there.
No, I was just saying, like, in the beginning when they're doing it because they want to do it and it's like a project to them and they care about it and you're not making any money, that's cool. But like if we started to make money off our podcast, I wouldn't just fucking be like, here's $20 while I'm fucking ranking in like thousands. You know what I mean? Like I would never do that to you. That to me would be the wackest shit ever. Like, because you're here from the beginning helping build the fucking shit, and it's like say be like we continue doing the foot cam and all that, and like it had been, right? Like a lot of people were making rude ass comments like get rid of Jimmy, just you and your feed, or just your feed and shit, like, you know what I mean? So like if I got this ego about it and was like I should make more money because my feed are bringing in the views, like he is probably pumping about his name being the pot, you know what I mean? Like, first of all, Joe Budden, it's not like you're fucking Jay-Z or something. You know what I mean? Like we like your music, but it's not really like
Do we
out there
though?
like that.
His music was never that popping. Just that
Right.
one Pump It Up song.
Right. So like you have one major hit, bro, and then you think your name means you can shit on your homies? Like, no, that's just not how that works. Like, that is shitty. That is a whack ass fucking thing to do. Period. Like, I don't need to know all the specifics because the shit spoke for itself. It came out and you're being shady, and you don't deserve fucking friends that help build your shit. And you don't want to give them nothing. You want to give them crumbs instead of a fucking loaf of bread. Like, get the fuck out of here.
And so Rory said that anytime that he ever asked anything about the accounting or about his his due that he was supposed to be receiving, he was always met with some kind of friction. Like he would snap out of nowhere. And I don't know about any of you, but anytime somebody like snaps after you ask them a simple question and you ask it with no malice or anything, any kind of aggression at all, and they snap, 100% of the time it's because they're guilty.
Yeah.
And so it was just obvious. And so they knew it. And I mean, I salute Rory and Mal for pushing through the whole entire 2020, going through those issues and, working the whole entire time. And then on top of that, they don't even elaborate on the Spotify deal or nothing like that, but that deal never happened. Right. So they didn't accept Spotify's deal. Right. And apparently a part of that deal was for Mal and Rory to also be part owners of the podcast. And now it makes me kind of wonder, is this why Joe turned down like an incredible amount of, money so that he can remain the sole owner of the podcast, basically. And pretty much like he knew he was probably eventually going to get rid of Rory and Mal and then, get some people that he could just, pay or whatever, which is cool. I mean, for those guys, I'm sure it's not a bad gig, but, to have some people on your podcast and you build from the ground up and then you just pretty much switch on them when things are going great. Right. It is pretty shitty. And it is messed up that money oftentimes is the reason why people
show their ass.
They show their ass. And they say money will make people show their true colors, but it just amplifies them at the end of the day because those always were their colors.
They were always there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's a sad thing to see. I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine doing that to anybody.
Me neither.
I would never do that to you, sir.
Thank you.
Ever.
Likewise. So this is on record right now, everybody. She said it. She would never do that to me.
Put that shit on repeat. I don't care. That's never happening. I'd rather take the smaller cut, if that was ever a fucking deal. Like, I'll take the crumbs, bro. Like, whatever, I would not want to fight over money. Like, that's just a stupid thing to me.
It totally is.
I'm not willing to ruin a relationship and something that you built. Like, they built this, like, it was a good podcast, and to lose it like that, like, they're losing mad followers. Like, that sucks.
Well, that's the thing about podcasts is that like a podcast isn't just like some radio show you turn on and they're like, all right, I'm gonna play some music. Like when you turn on the radio, you're hoping to hear some music. You're not really tripping off of the personalities. I mean, sometimes you are. Sometimes you really do like the
Mhm.
personality,
Like
but
the
you don't really
morning
get to
shows,
know
I
them.
think.
You hear them
Right.
in between commercials, in between music or whatnot. But when you listen to a podcast, it's like you really get to know the people. You become like a small family or a big family or what have you. And it's kind of like when you watch a sitcom and you grow attached to the people because you feel like you're getting to know their character. And then when
Right.
they get offed in the show, you're like,
Like,
what?
what? That Game of Thrones did that to me a lot.
Right. So it's like that with podcasts, like you grow attached to the people that you know. Like
You
there's a
feel like
few
you know them.
yeah, like there's a few podcasts I listen to, and I live in Vegas, so you see a lot of people out here, and then you might see them, and you might want to go say what's up because you're like, I feel like I know this person, but then you remember like,
You're
oh
like, I don't
damn,
really know this
I don't
person.
really know this person though. But that's the beauty of having a podcast, being a connoisseur of podcasts, because you start to feel like you know the people and everything. You feel like you're in the room when you're having a conversation. So it's just a great time. And that's what makes it pleasurable for me to be a part of a podcast, because it's just fun, man. It's just fun. Like I don't have no expectations, I just get
Mhm.
on here and chill. And
Yeah, I do this because I love it and I want to do it. If we can make money off of it at some point, like obviously that would be dope, but
right,
I want to enjoy the journey too. You know what I mean?
right.
So that's what that is. You
Yeah, man.
have to, man. If you fucking make everything about that shit, man, you're not really gonna enjoy anything. And then you miss the point of life. You know what I mean? The
Oh
point of
yeah.
life isn't hustle your fucking self into the ground for fucking money that you can't take with you when you die. Like,
It's facts, man.
I don't want my kids to just their life is about me just out there fucking making money and not really enjoying time with them or enjoying what I'm doing and being stressed out and crazy all the time. Like, I think people really, really, really get so lost in the sauce, like
Mhm.
they get so consumed with the hustle that they don't fucking just stop and really evaluate what life's really about and I think that COVID, one of the good things that came from that was that it forced everybody to fucking stop right in their tracks.
Right.
I think it was a blessing and a curse. I really did evaluate a lot of shit for the last year, you know what I mean? And because I am someone, it's easy for me to get lost in the hustle because I'm a single parent and I have to do what I got to do to pay bills and keep a roof over their head and get them to school and get them to the sports. And I'm just so busy in the hustle. I was so fucking crazy. I didn't even stop to think ever, you know? And I don't know. You realize how unhappy you are with your hustle and the bustle and all that shit. And I think that's why it's set up the way that it is, so that people don't fucking question shit like that. Because then you're not going to be as productive and make them their money. And that's why I think that people got to do something that they love, but then also not get so fucking caught up in the rat race, dude. I think that people need to learn how to pause and enjoy life and think about what they do enjoy in life and make sure that everything that they're doing is adding that kind of value to their life. I don't know.
I love that,
It's just
Stella.
thinking out loud.
We
So
like it when you
it's
think out loud.
sad to hear that shit. I don't know.
Heard it
Like
was
I said, I've been doing a lot of reflecting, a lot of thinking. Everybody who knows or who is actually following the podcast and listening to what we actually say, despite the distraction of the sparkly toes, you know that I've been battling some gnarly ass depression over the last couple of months. And so that's also part of my decision to chill on that shit right now. Because it's not helping me. And I had to think about all the things that I hold on to that make me happy. And this is one of those things without the fucking negativity and the bullshit, you know? Like, I don't need it. I don't want it right now.
We feel you.
That's all I gotta say.
So dad bods, everybody, seem to be in season right now, and it seems to be a trend. And I see a lot of TikToks about dad bods being hot. And I just want to say that I'm absolutely ready for dad bods to be a trend. I mean, why
I'm
is
ready
it
for
that every
mom bods
guy,
to be a
what,
trend.
mom bods
Are not a trend. And I don't understand why dad bods can be a trend, but mom bods are not the trend.
Because dad bods are like the comfortable, snuggly thing for women to cuddle up to.
Why can't we be comfortable, snuggly things you can
You
cuddle
guys
on?
could. I mean, some guys like the mom bods. Some guys do like the thicker women. I know a lot of guys that love thicker women. Thicker women are great.
They like thicker women, but then they like, as in double tap, the the models and the fucking fitness girls and all that shit.
Some of them double tap the bigger girls too.
Only if they're showing their actual ass or tits.
Not always. It's not always about that, Stella.
Mhm.
I know you think that all guys,
I
they're
don't
just
think
all
all
of
guys anything. I'm not one of those people who are like all men this or all women this.
see
I know that that's not true.
some guys think that all women are beautiful in their own kind of way, you know?
Who
And
are those
I'm
guys?
me, me. And I
All
know there's
women are
others.
beautiful.
All everybody in the world is beautiful,
Every
not just
single
women.
woman is
First of
beautiful.
all, everybody in the world is beautiful. First of all,
I mean,
not just women, and there's everybody in the world is got something great
has
about
beauty.
them. And it's not
Mhm.
always about what is seen on the outside. It's just that everybody just needs to embrace themselves and really just be theirself, because I think that's one of the all right, so there's a story from last night, actually, I want to bring up. And what brought it to my mind is when I said be yourself. So I grew up in a city in the Bay Area where I felt like you almost had to be too cool for certain stuff. Like it was almost not cool to like a certain trend or to be into a certain genre of whatever it may be, music, movies, um, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And I caught myself being too cool last night, and I told myself, why is it that I don't do karaoke? So I went to a karaoke bar last night, and my buddy really wanted to do karaoke, and he said, "I'm going to sign you up too." And I'm like, "No, man, I'm not doing karaoke." And then I thought to myself, why don't I do karaoke?
Why don't you? You
Why am I
actually have
too
a decent
cool?
voice.
Why? But well, first of all, some of the people that were doing karaoke, they should be getting paid for that shit. I'm like, no
I
way.
know, it's not fucking fair.
It is
Those
not.
people, I'm like,
If,
I'm not following that.
if you are really good at singing, do not go to
Do
the
not do
karaoke bar,
karaoke. Yeah, that's
because you're
fucking
putting
bullshit.
everybody else in the building to shame, and we don't want to go after you.
We don't wanna go after you. We don't, and I won't. I'm more
Yeah,
like, have you seen My Best Friend's Wedding with Cameron Diaz and Julia Roberts?
I don't think so.
Oh my god, I'm gonna send you the scene where Cameron Diaz does karaoke. That's me. It's god awful, and that is me. I will send it to you. I don't know if
What
anybody
songs?
watching this has seen it, but
What songs do you
let us
sing when you
know.
do karaoke?
Da 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 tequila. That's like the easiest one.
All right,
That's all you say.
I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. The songs that I would sing at karaoke are the songs that I heard when I was really young, and I know everybody likes them. They're straight up bops, and I am super embarrassed to enjoy this music,
Is it
but
like
I'm
Journey, Don't
tired of
Stop
being
Believing?
too cool for things like karaoke. I will put this on a record right now. Love a lot of jams from Backstreet Boys.
Hey, I thought you were talking like way back in the days.
Tell
But
me
no,
lies
you're just talking about
ain't nothing but a heart. You know what I'm
that's
saying? Like,
right. Yeah. That'll get the whole crowd going.
gotta get
You
the whole
have
crowd
to choose
rocking.
songs like that. You gotta get the audience involved. You can't just be up there singing.
I get so annoyed when people try to act like they've been thugs all their life. Like, dude,
Yeah.
at one point in your life, you were 10, 11, or 12 or whatever, and you were listening to NSYNC. Don't
play
front.
some Mariah Carey, some fucking, some shit that gets them going.
Yeah, man.
Some Britney Spears. You're right. You got to know the audience too. If it looks like a bunch of 30-something-year-olds, that's the genre you go for, or the 90s. Like,
yeah.
Like you and I oftentimes will just hang out on here after, and we'll just or before, and we're playing like 90s R&B, and we're just fucking getting it. We're just like singing and like pre-gaming.
Absolutely. And anyways, I brought up all that to say, man, you just got to be yourself and do the things you love and not worry about what other people think about you.
Unapologetic.
Because hey, man, we only live one life, right?
And life is actually very short.
What was that?
Life is actually very short in the grand scheme of things. Like,
if the world's been here
we
for
are not promised
billions of
tomorrow.
years, then 100 years.
You're not promised tomorrow. And what's the worst thing that can happen? Like, people laugh at you. Like, that's a good thing. Like, I want to make people laugh. Like, laugh at me, laugh with me, just laugh. Who cares?
Man, I totally respect the dudes that went up there last night who had no kind of skill at all, but went up there and had a great time. Sang their butts off, and I could do nothing but take my hat off to them, because I'm like, man, is it that I'm too cool, or is it just that I don't have the courage to go up there?
I think it's a confidence thing. Like, I'm not too cool. I'm one of the biggest dorks in the world, but it is a confidence thing. It is like the scene from Carrie. They're all gonna laugh at you, like it is terrifying. What's crazy is I can stand in front of a room of 200 plus people and give a speech, but get me in a bar of like 50 people on a stage for karaoke, bro. Like, I don't know if there's enough alcohol for that.
All right, so
it's pretty wild.
Can we make it a thing? Like, next time we're in the same city, or how about this? Any city we go to, we're gonna do karaoke.
You go to karaoke. Okay, fine. Oh yeah, I'm terrified already because I know that I'm gonna have to follow through.
And I just hope that I don't have to go off after any like.
Oh, if someone good goes, then we're canceling this for the night.
No, we can't though.
Not forever. Just that night or that specific bar. We can't.
Nope. Man, we can't. It can't be about that though,
because that act.
It can't be about trying to be the best singer in the room. It's just about building the courage, getting the adrenaline, and just trying something new. Remember what we said on Instagram? We want to try some new things and kind of break our own barriers down.
Yeah, we should do it.
Yeah, totally. Do a duet.
Do a duet.
I'll go up there with you. We can go up there. If you're like nervous, it would be better.
Yeah,
huh? Like,
it would.
What would we do?
We could do Keith Sweat. Nobody.
You got me twisted. Yeah.
No, nobody. I want the night. Yeah, that one.
I don't know why. That's the #1 jam of all time. Shout out Keith Sweat.
It is. Shout out to Keith Sweat.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for coming through the Monday Night Live. Tonight's episode is actually going to be short because we got some things we got to take care of tonight. So we appreciate you all coming through, and we will catch you all on Friday for a slide through. We out, y'all.